Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome again to another one of our Seniors at Home workouts. Today's going to be a shorter program for you, although we're still going to get some nice work in to strengthen our shoulders, improve our range of motion on internal and external rotations. That means we're working your rotator cuff muscles, and I'll do a little bit of work for your arms, your chest, and your legs. So consider it a short, full body workout. Let's get started. I'd like to start by taking my hands and placing the palms together, and I'm going to open up my wingspan as much as I can. I'm going to try and separate those elbows as much as I can. I believe we did these on the last session as well. The more often you can do these, the better. And then once you've really completely opened up your wingspan, I'd like for you to continue to work to try and rotate that hand a little bit further back. You'll notice that when I do this, my elbow doesn't move forward, backward, up, or down. It stays where it is. My forearm and hand revolve around that center point that is the elbow. And what I'm going to do is when I hit my restriction, I'm going to try and go a little further back. I'm going to fight against that. So, all together, we're going to do that 5 times. Palms together, open up your wingspan as wide as you can. Then start working on rotating those arms all the way back. And then separate the shoulder blades, stretch your elbows forwards, try to touch the whole forearm and elbow and palm together. And then repeat. This is number 2, take a deep breath in. Now for those of you, and then breathe out. For those of you who can't quite achieve this range of motion, that is okay. You can drop your elbows a little bit lower and just open up your wingspan as much as you can. If you can go a little further on one arm than the other, then go ahead and go as far as you can on both sides. If you're doing this often enough, you should eventually notice greater range of motion on your weaker side as well. So this is number 3. Pull those hands back, take a deep breath in, and then draw the elbows, forearms, palms together, stretch your elbows forwards again. 4, open everything up, really work on pulling those hands far back. Breathe out, and then we'll do one more. Breathe in, and breathe out. Now here, I don't want you to rest. Do not drop your elbows or your hands. Stretch your hands straight out in front of you. I want you all to pull your shoulders back, and then stretch your shoulders forwards. At no point while we do this action, the backwards pull or the forwards reach, will we allow our shoulders to rise up. They stay down the whole time. So for 10 times, nice and quick, we're going to go back and forward. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. Let's just do a little bit of warm up for your feet. I'd like for you to stand with your toes facing straight ahead. They're not open and they're not closed, and my feet are separated by several inches. They're about shoulder width apart. If you need to touch a chair next to you for balance, go ahead and grab one right now. We're going to raise our heels as high up as we can, and then we're going to drop them down. We're going to do this fairly quickly. Usually I like to do it slowly for you. We're going to count up to 20, and then we're going to count down from 20 nice and quickly, starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you can reach out with your arms, go ahead. 14, 15, 16, just the right arm. 18, 19, don't stop at 20, we're going to count backwards now. 20, just the left arm. 19, 18, 17, 16, just the right arm circles backwards. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, just the left arm. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, shake your right leg out, shake your left leg out, and then while those calf muscles are warm, I'd like for you to stretch them out. So I'm going to use the chair so that I can demonstrate this to you, but if your chair slides, just put the ball of your foot up onto a wall If a wall is uncomfortable for you, you can use something like this. Everyone has different size feet and legs, so you can use a bigger ball or a smaller ball. Anything that changes the elevation of the ball of your foot. And I can put that in front of a wall. Let's assume this chair is a wall for now. I can put the ball of my foot up onto the ball, or the brick or the books, whatever you're using to elevate the ball of your foot. If that's too high up, you can use a smaller ball. The idea is to find something in a fixed spot that lets you flex the ankle and place the ball of the foot, not the toes, the ball of the foot against that surface so that you can get a good stretch. So what I'm going to do is lift the ball of my foot. I'm going to change the position of the chair. I'm going to lift the ball of my foot against the chair. You should do this against a wall. I'm going to keep this leg straight. I'm going to push my hips forwards. I'm going to take 3 deep breaths in and out. For 3, and breathe out. 2, and breathe out. And 1. And breathe out. Good. Let's replace the right foot up onto the chair or the wall, preferably the wall. I have a nice heavy iron chair. It doesn't move as easily as other chairs. Otherwise, I'd also be putting my foot up onto a wall. Let's take 3 deep breaths in, starting at 1, and a slow exhalation. 2. If this is not a deep enough stretch for you, push your hips forwards. And 1. Good. Now, I think that is enough of a warm-up. I did tell you that we have a shorter workout today. Some of my workouts recently have been fairly long. I'm trying to give you a variety of some longer workouts, some shorter workouts, and some moderate length workouts. We will start with a rubber band. My band is right here. I was wondering where... So you're going to need a rubber band, and if you don't have a rubber band, I've shown you in previous videos how you can simply use a small towel, and I would just fold it and roll it. Notice how I keep my hands about shoulder width apart, and I'm going to actively pull my hands apart as I'm tucking my elbows into my side. In fact, having my elbow tucked into my side is important because it gives me a little bit more leverage. And that's really important. When you're using the towel, it doesn't stretch, so you can't see me working, but I'm actively rotating my right arm externally, and I'm actively rotating my left arm externally. My elbows brace up against the sides of my torso, keep my shoulders pulled down, and that is activating the muscles. Then I would simply pull both hands to the left and both hands to the right and alternate. What the rest of us will do, since we have a rubber band, we're going to position ourselves in exactly the same manner. Palms down to start, elbows tucked in. Our hands are going to be about shoulder width apart, and we're going to pull our shoulders back and down. We're going to keep that excellent posture the whole time. We're going to separate the hands. So whereas the towel users are pulling the hands apart at all times and rotating from left to right, we're simply opening up the hands at the same time and then letting them come together. This counts as 1 rep for the towel users to the right and to the left. That's 1. For us rubber band users, we're counting that as 1 repetition. All right? Let's start nice and gently today. I would like to count in a multiple of 3. We will start at 0, counting all the way up to 30. This is 3. Try your best, as always, 6 to count your numbers ahead of me. 9 before I count my numbers. 12. 15. Really don't forget your good tall posture. 18. 21. 24. 27. And 30, and I'm certain you're feeling that inside of the shoulder, on sides of the shoulder, maybe in behind the shoulder. Let's celebrate how good that feels by taking our palms, turning them up towards the ceiling. So this is a supinated position. I'm going to tuck my elbows into my sides again, And I'm going to perform exactly the same action. For the towel users, it's exactly the same thing. From right to left, palms up. For us rubber band users, we're just separating the hands and bring them back together. Let's count backwards from 30, 27, 24, 21, 18, 15, 12, 9, 6, 3, and 0. Good. Your rotator cuff muscles are not only warmed up, but they've got some strength material already under the belt. Let's move on to work our biceps and our chest, a little bit of our shoulders as well. I actually should not have let go of my rubber band. We're going to do this with a rubber band. For those of you who don't have a rubber band, I would highly suggest going to get one. They're available at so many different outlets, Walmart, Canadian Tire, Winners, you name it. Probably at Shoppers Drug Mart, sometimes they probably sell that. So if you don't have the band, you can simply just run through the range of motion, because that's still going to be of great benefit to you. I would take the end of the rubber band and I'd step on it with my right foot. And then I'm going to take the other end of the rubber band and I'm going to grab it with my right hand. And all I'm going to do, let me show you this from the side, I'm going to flex my elbow up to about 90 degrees. And then once my elbow is at about a 90-degree angle, I'm going to lift the elbow up to the ceiling. Then I'm going to drop the elbow down to my side, and then I'm going to let my arm straighten. So there's two parts of this movement. There's flexion in the elbow, and then there's an actual raise of the arm up. And then we reverse that process. Elbow in and extend the elbow. We're going to do this at a multiple of 4, starting from 0 to 40. So flex and raise for 0. Tuck and extend. Flex and raise for 4. Tuck and extend. 8. Try to keep your shoulders down and back for this. Try to hold nice tall posture. 12. 16. 20. Do not let your shoulder hunch or shrug forwards. 24. It's really important. You'll completely undo the great benefit that we derive from actually doing this exercise. I think that was 28. Sorry, I distracted myself. 32. 36. And 40. Good. You can now grab the end of the band, the top part of the band with your left hand, step on the other end of the band with your left foot, and we'll count backwards from 40, starting at 0. 40. I don't know what just happened. 36. I was thinking I should maybe go through these steps again with you. 32. This is a quick review. It's a flexion and then a raise, a drop, and an extension. That was 28, 24, 20. Keep your shoulders down and back. 16, 12, 8, 4, and 0. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that we are officially done with this band for now. We will not need it again, so you can just go ahead and toss that band aggressively to the side, and we'll continue with some exercises for your legs. So you will either need a chair or a wall or a combination of those two. Last week I showed you how to augment this unilateral exercise, and unilateral in this instance simply means that we're working one leg at a time so that we don't perpetuate any strength imbalances that already exist. Most of us have a stronger side. I dance ballroom, so I certainly have a stronger side. It's a really one-sided kind of a sport. What I'm going to do is put this chair in front of me, This is the harder version, and you can stack pillows up or books up or try to get additional height onto the chair. I'm going to put one leg right up against the edge of the chair. I'm going to extend my other foot forwards. So let's all push the right leg back and put the left foot forwards. We're going to push our hips back. If you need to, you can reach for the actual chair with your fingertips. Use that as a support. Have a seat. And again, if you are on the rise and need to push yourself up with your hands, go ahead and do so. For those of you who are using the chair, when you rise, think about pushing the hips forwards to rise. Don't think about rising up to rise, as funny as that sounds. If I think about rising up, I'm going to struggle to actually rise up because my weight is still centered towards the back of the chair. If, however, I think about pushing my hips forwards, I'm taking my weight and I'm sending it over my feet immediately before I get the chance to fall back. For those of you who find the chair difficult, then you can use the wall. And I showed you a better angle of this last week, where you would walk up against a wall, you'd put one foot right up against the base of the wall, you'd make sure your cheeks can touch, and then you'd step forward with the other foot. So now there's a little bit of space. You could hold onto a chair next to you if you really need it. You reach back with the hips, and then you press the hips forward. So I'm going to do this against this wall, because I have a suspicion that most of you are going to choose the wall version of this. Just be aware that the further your feet are apart, the more difficult the exercise, because the lower that you're going to be able to go. So let's all do this together. Take your right heel, make sure it touches the base of your wall. Put the palms of both hands against the wall, and then place the left foot in front of the right foot. They don't have to be staggered in front of each other. They can have a little bit of space in between them. I'm going to push my hips back into the wall. The wall's going to stop me from going too far, and then I'm going to push the hips forwards. I'm going to push my hips back to the wall and push my hips forwards. We're going to do that, or the chair version, for, let's spell out a word. Let's make it Zoroastrian. If you look up at the ceiling right now, that word's going to flash fairly quickly and then disappear. Do your best to memorize it. We're going to spell it forwards and then backwards. Let's push the hips back for Z. O. R. You can also make this one a little bit more difficult. O, by raising your hands up in the air or out to the side. A. S. You can keep the hands on the wall for more security. T. Or hold the chair if you have one next to you. T. R. I should stop talking. I. A. And N. Good, that's the right leg done. Let's replace that with the left leg. And we're going to do exactly the same movement, but we're going to spell Zoroastrian backwards, starting from N. A. I. R. T. S. A. O. I hope you're spelling this ahead of me. R. O. And then Z. Congratulations for making it through that one. I hope you spelled Zoroastrian correctly. For that matter, I hope that I spelled it correctly as well. I'd like for you to do one more exercise with me today. And for that, you will need a chair with no extra implements. So I'm going to put this ball away. And you can have a seat. Okay, so you might want to sit a little bit further back on the chair for this one. As with most of the seated exercises, the further forward you sit on the chair, the harder. The further backwards you sit, the easier. I wouldn't sit all the way back though. I give myself a little bit of wiggle room for my legs. So, what I'd like for you to do, you can grip the sides of your chair with your hands for support. We're going to raise our right knee. You don't have to raise it very high up, just high enough up that your foot is clear from the ground that you can wiggle the leg out and in. This is going to be called internal and external rotation of the femur, which requires a lot of the muscles in our hips, our gluteal muscles, your butt muscles, so we need those to support our knees, our lumbar spine, to keep the hips even, to turn, to do anything that requires movement while standing. So let's just slightly raise that right knee and we're going to rotate the leg. This is external rotation as much as you can. For some of you that might be a very small amount, for others it might be quite a lot, but you can't use your hands to assist. And then you're going to rotate that to the other side. So that's internal rotation. I'm trying not to raise or drop my knee as I do so. We're just going to do 10 of these for 1. We don't have to count in multiples here, 2, because I really want you focusing on the quality of movement here. 3, you might feel fatigue on the inside of the hip and the groin. 4, you might feel it on the outside of the hip. 5, 6, take your time though, don't rush these. 7, keep in mind I'm trying to get my leg as high up, my foot as high up as I can. 8, in each direction. 9, and they have a little bit of a pause at the far ends in each direction, and 10. I'm not just wiggling the leg passively, I'm working to strengthen the muscles in my hips, to rotate the leg. So now, let's do the same thing with the other leg. Take the left foot up and we'll count back from 10. Not in a rush here. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Excellent. We're not done yet. We have one more exercise. I want you to take your right leg and extend it so that leg is up in the air. The base of your thigh, the back of your leg can still be in contact with the chair. We're going to rotate the leg externally as much as we can. That's thigh, the whole thigh, the knee, the shin, the foot, all at the same pace, out. And then as far internally as we can get it rotated as well. Again, it's not a little wiggle out and in. It's as complete a rotation as we can make. When we feel restriction in either direction, we're going to work a little bit harder to squeeze the muscle to try and push past that point. So let's count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and I'm certain that most of you out there are already feeling that in the hip. Let's extend the left leg and do exactly the same movement starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Wonderful. So I'm going to leave you off the hook today for the coordination exercises, either the dancing component or the ball throws. But I would encourage you, since this is a free resource, to go ahead and share this with anyone that you feel will benefit from it, who isn't as active as they could be, or is afraid to get into exercising because they feel like they're going to hurt themselves, or they're worried because all the programs out there are too advanced or too difficult for them. Share this with them and you'll really be doing a great thing. As I said, this is a completely free resource. Anyone can use it. So I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.